Jimmy on the beat, boy.
So you may be thinking, how the heck does this stuff work? Allow me to enlighten you. So basically every car since 1997 has what's called an onboard diagnostics computer, or OBD for short. And what this OBD holds is a bunch of different diagnostics about your cars, your speed, your RPM, fuel level, engine load, all of these different values. So what you want to do, or what I want to do, is take those data values and display them on a screen and make it look pretty. OBD stores the exact data value, so you'll have the exact miles per hour, the exact RPM. So you won't have to estimate looking at your speedometer. Like, it'll actually, what I want to do is actually display the real miles per hour, 55 miles, 56, 57, 58, or the actual RPM, like 2000, 2057 or something, like the real actual values, not estimates. So to do that, you're going to need to interface with this computer. So what can you do? You'd use what's called an OBD adapter. There's a wired one, but for me, I'm using the Bluetooth one. And what you do is, all these cars, they have what's called an OBD port, and it's pretty obvious from there. You just plug the OBD adapter in, and that allows you to interface with the car. And of course, if you're using Bluetooth, you do that over Bluetooth. So how do you connect? How do you talk with this OBD adapter? Well, you can use you could use an Arduino, but I use the Raspberry Pi. I use the Raspberry Pi 4 with built-in Bluetooth. So what I did was I connected over Bluetooth to the OBD adapter. And once you're connected, you're going to want to, of course, the next step is to get the data values. The problem is that OBD, it stores these data values in hexadecimal, not normal numbers that we all know. It's in hex. So that's kind of problematic. But thankfully, there is a Python library called Python-OBD, and has built-in functions that convert that into the normal numbers that we want to be seeing. So on the Raspberry Pi, what I did was I created a program using Python-OBD that interfaces with the OBD adapter and is able to grab the values that I want. And to display this, you could use any graphical interface like tkinter or something, but I use Pygame. And using Pygame and Python-OBD in conjunction, I'm able to extract the data I want from the computer and display them on my screen. In this case, for me, it's a little 33.5 inch LCD made for the Raspberry Pi, and boom, I got my display, got everything I need. Now that we have programming out of the way, the main issue we have now is, how am I going to power the Raspberry Pi? Because I don't want to bring an external power supply around with me everywhere I go. So what I chose to do is use my car battery as the power supply for the Raspberry Pi. And the Raspberry Pi takes DC, 5 volts, 3 amps. And car batteries, thankfully, are also DC, but output 12 volts. So that might like mess up my Raspberry Pi a bit. So we're going to use a step down voltage converter that will convert those 12 volts into 5 volts and 3 amps. So our Raspberry Pi can run normally, and in conjunction with all the other stuff I said, as soon as I turn on my car, my Raspberry Pi will turn on too. So it's a double whammy.
using Pygame as my graphical interface, I have all the code commented out that has to do with the OBD. But along with speed and RPM, I am going to be adding engine load. So if we test this out, as you can see, it displays speed, load, and RPM. The reason why it's so small is because it's going to be fitting on that little screen right there. But yeah, we got RPM, load, and speed. Alright, as you can hear, the car is on. Here is all the code, the graphical interface, and the OBD. So here's where it gets speed, RPM, and load. So if we run this, as you can see here, so that means that my engine load's at 25%, RPM hovering around 650, and of course the speed is 0 because we're not moving it. Here's all the commands. We got our program running on our little LCD screen. Works perfectly. So if I push the pedal here for RPM, perfect. We got our step-down voltage converter for the Raspberry Pi. We're going to need to solder these wires into the wiring of my car, which are hidden behind the panel, so we're going to have to remove these.